Hi, I'm Dave Hilowitz. So this video is about free samples. There are a bunch of exciting things that are happening in the world of free samples. So I figured I'd make a video so that people know and can download stuff accordingly. So first, let's talk about Pianobook. If you don't know, Pianobook is a website where you can download sampled libraries for free. It was started by Christian Henson. If you don't follow his YouTube channel, you absolutely should. Link up here. I think the overlap between his channel and my channel is very, very high, so probably most of you do, but if you don't, you absolutely should. Anyway, Pianobook, the website, has been relaunched with an all-new design. There are many improvements. The new design really goes out of its way to feature creators, the people who are actually creating these sampled instruments. Each creator gets a nice page with a profile. You can click to follow the creators and can see all of the stuff that they've uploaded. Another feature that I'm particularly partial to is you can now sort by format. So if you want to see all of the Decent Samples instruments, you can just click down in the menu and then you'll see all of the Decent Sampler format instruments, and then you can use the buttons at the top to kind of like filter it more and get exactly what you want. So very, very excited about that. If you haven't signed up for the site, you absolutely should, and definitely make sure you follow me on my profile. Link below. So that's what's new in Pianobook land. Very, very exciting. Now let's talk about Decent Sampler. By the way, if you don't know what Decent Sampler is, here's the 15-second explanation. Basically, Decent Sampler is a free sampling engine which I created. It's completely free. You can go download it right now. And then you can go over to Pianobook and download some libraries. Right now on Pianobook, there are 240 instruments in Decent Sampler format. Crazy, hard to believe. And that number is growing every week. Someone recently asked me what the benefits are to Decent Sampler over other free sampling platforms. And there are a couple things. First, the ability to make a nice UI with actual graphics. It has under the hood support for instruments with multiple layers or multiple mics, a growing list of effects, chorus, reverb, delay, phaser, you name it. The plugin also has a little database where you can organize your instrument collection, and most SFC plugins don't have that. In addition, Decent Sampler is of course available for iOS, which means you can bring your samples with you. I actually just got an iPad Pro and I've been using it more and more myself, so you'll definitely see some more mobile updates coming soon. Speaking of which, let's get to it. What's actually new with Decent Sampler? Okay, let's go back like 6 months. In early May, I added support for multi-mic instruments. Later that month, also in May, I added pitch bending, and I also added the ability to kind of change the master tuning for the entire instrument. In June, I added under the hood support for legato samples, which was an often requested feature. In July, I upgraded the My Libraries tab, and it's now possible to group all of your samples into folders. In September, I added support for native host automation as opposed to the MIDI learn functionality, which is already in there. I also added a bunch of effects, chorus, phaser, delay. And then most recently, in early October, I added this little dialog box. Basically, when you open a DS library instrument, which is an instrument that's been compressed, it's basically a zip file, it will ask you if you want to install the instrument into your instrument library. If you say yes, it will unzip that DS library into your samples directory. That should make it much, much more reliable to load. Because the DS library files need to be unzipped, and they get unzipped to a temp location, and the temp location sometimes gets deleted, they can sometimes be a little bit tricky to reload when you have an old project, which is why I tend to favor personally the DS preset format. As you saw, in between all of the releases I just mentioned, there were other releases that were just me fixing random bugs. Audio development is not for the faint of heart. Every person seems to have like a slightly different setup. There's now a Linux version, a Windows version, a Mac version, and an iOS version. And it can take a while to figure out why something that works for most people doesn't work for some person. At the same time, the number of bug reports that I've gotten for the sampler actually crashing has gone way, way down. So must be doing something right. Speaking of which, I've been working on a new version that fixes a couple of the DS library loading issues that I've been seeing. Nothing catastrophic, but definitely glad to see these things get fixed. Once that releases out, the next thing I'm going to try to tackle is multiple outputs. That's a pretty often requested feature, and my personal dream would be to have a version of the plugin that can output to multiple tracks within your DAW, not just the one stereo track. So I haven't done the R&D work on it yet. I don't know how possible that is, but that's the dream. Other news in the world of Decent Sampler, a guy named Risto Sopola has created a whole system for creating Decent Sampler presets in Reaper. I myself have not had a chance to really check it out because I've been so immersed in development stuff, but it looks very promising. Link below. Another cool thing, Loopop, which is a fantastic synth channel. If you don't subscribe to it, you definitely should. Loopop is having a Superbooth 21 contest. It's a very cool premise. Basically, they went to Superbooth and sampled a bunch of synths, and contestants now have to take those samples and make original music out of it. Those samples are available in Decent Sampler format. So if you like synth music, definitely head over there, participate in the contest, download the free samples, and yeah, see what you come up with. I just want to thank everybody who has made an instrument in Decent Sampler format. Not only are you making your instrument available to a much wider range of people, on a personal level, having now put hundreds of hours into the plugin, brings me a lot of happiness to see the format being embraced. It actually really means a lot to me. Okay, I think that's it. This was basically just an update video so that I could highlight the amazing new Pianobook website and also talk a little bit on where I'm at in the Decent Sampler project. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you could hit like, and if you haven't done so already, now is a great time to subscribe. I've got a ton of videos on the way. Yeah, see you soon.